Well, tonight, Spokane City Council is expected to vote on an emergency ordinance regarding its contract with scraps.
KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy was at the City Council discussion today over the upcoming vote and exploring ongoing concerns over scraps the animal shelter's practices. Shannon?
Well, two members of Spokane's City Council want to change city code to reflect their feelings that scraps should not euthanize animals based on capacity issues, but some question whether this would really change anything. Less than a week after learning 13 dogs were put down in a single day at scraps, City Council members Michael Cathcart and Karen Stratton are pushing an emergency ordinance.
Like if we waited a week, what would that do if we followed regular process?
Potentially another mass euthanasia.
If passed by council Monday night, the ordinance will change city code to reflect that euthanasia should not be done because of capacity issues and would also beef up an advisory board overseeing scraps.
And one of the frustrations was there was sort of a day where these many of these animals were labeled as adoptable, and then the next day no longer adoptable.
The two council members say they've been working with the county for 5 months, but still have lingering questions about certain practices, namely the assessments that deem animals dangerous enough to put down. Patrick Bell with Spokane County says humane euthanasia is a last resort and not done for lack of space.
We never ever euthanize because of capacity issues.
This ordinance, though, wouldn't change county rules and will only apply to animals from within city limits. Even some members of council questioned what good it would do.
Passing an ordinance, how would that change those operations? It doesn't necessarily, because they could still euthanize other animals from outside the city instead of making those changes. So like,
Nope,
it's really
it's
more of a contract issue.
Cathcart and Stratton agree and say they're still trying to work with the county on a regional approach.
In further discussions that we're hoping to get some insight into is, are assessments regular? How are those timed? And if that advisory committee could help in that process.
Bell says Scraps is using a new assessment tool called CARS.
It's a risk assessment tool that helps us understand how big of a risk would this dog be if it was released into the community.
He says moving forward, it'll be more clear which animals are adoptable and which aren't. Now, Bell tells me they have invited members of City Council to come tour the facility, but so far only one, Jonathan Bingle, has taken them up on that offer. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. And happening here in just 1 hour, the Spokane City Council will start a very busy meeting tonight.
So several key items expected to be voted on and discussed. Let's go through the ones that we're going to be keeping our eye on. First, the council is expected to vote on a resolution to censure Mayor Nadine Woodward after she appeared on stage with self-proclaimed Christian nationalist and former state representative Matt Shea. The mayor has repeatedly apologized for the appearance and said that she didn't know that Shea would be there. Council members Zach Sapone and Betsy Wilkerson are sponsoring the resolution. And just to be clear, a censure does not impact Woodward's ability to hold office, but it is a formal disapproval of the mayor's behavior from City Council.
Also, council will be discussing creating an inspector general position for the city. They would be in charge of investigating waste, fraud, and abuse allegations against city department heads. All of this is going to be discussed at tonight's legislative meeting. It's scheduled again to start at 6 o'clock.